for Proverbs chapter 4. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. Notice how Solomon continuously says this, my children and my son. Pay heed to this. It's believed that Solomon, he had so many children that instead of sitting them down 2 or 3 at a time or whatever and giving them this wisdom, he just wrote a book of wisdom. He also had many other writings, as we're told about. This is often how the apostles in the New Testament also address Paul. He addresses Titus and Timothy as his sons, and we see John, whom says, my little children, and all of this. So a good teacher will always view their students in a family sort of setting, a familial manner. And I believe that this really puts a heart into the lessons that you're teaching. I don't believe that you can just be so professional. You're dealing with souls, humans, and creations of God. But Solomon continues, for I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. Now Bathsheba, his mother, she did have other children. But Solomon was probably the favorite, probably the most coddled among all of the rest as well. This is the reason why David was so adamant in whenever he was telling him, Solomon, you're going to take my throne after I'm dead. He was so adamant and saying, Solomon, you have to be tough. You have to become a man, and you have to do it very quickly. There's no, I'm about to die. You have to take up for yourself. I can't fight your battles for you anymore. So that might be where the tender part of this comes from. He, David, his father, taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Pay close attention, my dear friends. So many people will distort this verse a little bit. It's a very known verse in Scripture, but it has so much deep meaning to it. Wisdom is the principal thing, the main thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Now, what does this mean? With all thy getting, get understanding. Does that mean while you're gathering other things of the world, get wisdom with it? No, remember, wisdom is the principal thing. Pulpit noted at this point, this does not mean that while you are acquiring other things, you are to acquire wisdom along with it, as if wisdom is just like everything else. It's not. But that wisdom is to be purchased with all you have acquired or gotten. No price is too high to be paid for her, no sacrifice too great. The parables of the hidden treasure and goodly pearl that Jesus tells us about in Matthew 13:44 and Luke 10:42. I do urge you all to go and reread those, because it really emphasizes, give it all away just to get this one priceless thing, this one eternal thing that was with God at the very beginning of all things, wisdom. The parables of the hidden treasure and goodly pearl, in both of which the man sold all that he had to obtain that prize. Verse 8, exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of the evil man. Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. Notice how Solomon, he's noting every single possible way to get away. Avoid it. Let it be the serious purpose of thy soul, the serious purpose to shun every appearance of evil. Get away from all of it, like Joseph whenever he's tempted by Potiphar's wife. Run if you must. Far better to be looked at as a fool by men and blessed by God than vice versa, my friends. How many in Hollywood today, they have everything that the world could offer. They're on their yachts, they're doing drugs, they're partying all the time. Anything that the flesh wants, they get, and they get it round the clock. But where is all that leading them? Death, hell, the grave. Their life will probably even be shortened because of their lifestyles. How often do we see that? Solomon also says, pass not by it. Don't even go around it. Never, for the sake of worldly gain or through complacence to others, approach the way that thou wouldst not wish to be found in when God calls thee into the eternal world, which is the second in which we know not. Whether it be rapture or whether it be death, no man knows the moment that he's going to die. Therefore, we should always be in fear and trembling of the Lord all the days of our lives, my dear friends. So go not in the way of evil men, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. They can't even rest without some kind of evil coming from them. They feed on that. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. That is their bread, that is their drink, evil continually. Kidner can be quoted stating, the Bible does not hide the fact that one can become as zealous for evil as for good. There may be some of so malevolent a disposition that they cannot be easy unless they can injure others, and are put to excessive pain when they perceive any man in prosperity or receiving a kindness. As empty stomachs can hardly sleep, those in whom are hungry find it difficult to sleep, so neither can graceless persons, wicked persons, so neither can those types rest till gorged and glutted with the sweetmeats of sin. The devil, their taskmaster, will not allow them time to sleep, which is a very hard bondage. Verse 18, but the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. Quite oftentimes the death of a really wicked man will come upon him suddenly, and he doesn't even know. Many have probably passed into hell, not even knowing how they got there. Probably a bullet to the back of the head or something so terribly violent, because they're around evil people constantly. It's not like they like hanging around churches or anything like that. No, they have horrible company, and everybody is set on evil. Evil eats evil constantly. Verse 20, my son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart, so they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Now let's pause right there. That's very, very important. Jesus alluded to this. Once again, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. I was really taken aback by Horton's commentary at this moment. It is very strange that Judaism should ever have sunk into a formal religion of outward observance, when its own wisdom was so explicit on this point. Everything has to do with the heart. Keep thy heart with all diligence. But what is meant from the heart issues all the issues of life. From it proceed all holy desires, all good counsels, and all just works, signs of the life with God within the soul. Or evil thoughts, murders, the end of which things is death. I would have you to recall that in which Christ said, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. Those things which are within the heart come out through the mouth. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. The heart must be changed, and then the lips will be changed as well. which is what Solomon follows up with. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. It is, and I fell into this years ago, how it's so easy. It's such a slippery slope. Once that you begin to cuss, even as a Christian, I know many of them. Most Christians that I know, they cuss. They don't do it all the time, but they cuss. This right here, I'm telling you, my friends, it's far more of an issue with the heart than anything else if you find yourself slipping out curse words. But it is something that takes practice, my friends. It takes due diligence. It is not good for Christians to cuss. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Don't let things distract you. Don't let people get in the way. Paul, they're telling him about all these threatenings coming towards him and how the Jews are wanting to kill him and all of this. And he says, none of these things move me. None of these threats move me. He's so tunnel visioned. He's so one-track mind. And as a Christian, to be the most effective, have a one-track mind. I preach the gospel or I die. That is all. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right or to the left hand. Remove thy foot from evil. A life of integrity. According to Jamieson, FAUSSET, Brown, a life of integrity requires attention to heart, speech, eyes, and conduct, just as noted here in Proverbs chapter 4. A life of integrity requires attention to heart, speech, eyes, and conduct. That's your being, that's your soul, as well as your speech. Make sure it's clean. And your eyes, don't let anything enter into them that will pollute them. And conduct. Don't be out here going to bars, partying all the time. Don't be getting high in front of, and trust me, I've done all of the above. I know what it's like. I'm not sitting here telling you I'm guiltless. I'm not. But I've finally reached this point where I'm actually starting to take heed of this wisdom. And I can tell the life is just so much fuller. It's so much better. And I'm telling you, we should all just pay attention. Pay close attention to these words of wisdom and apply them.